Starting this list off, one of the greatest players in the history of the game is Diego Maradona. The late great Argentinian is an icon because of his supreme skill and also his highly controversial moments. Maradona's hand of God goal against England in the 1986 World Cup is one of the most infamous moments in football, with many Three Lions supporters never forgiving him for cheating on the game's biggest stage. To make matters worse, Argentina went on to win the World Cup. Maradona also had countless run-ins with people from the media and fans during his playing days and retirement. And instead of acting professionally, he lost his cool several times. Appearances 346. Goals 150. Number 9. Emmanuel Adebayor. Notable teams played for: Arsenal, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Tottenham Hotspur. Few players have managed to enrage as many fanbases as Emmanuel Adebayor. His notorious goal celebration against Arsenal, running the full length of the pitch, is accused of being lazy by his own fans, and he also had fallouts with his own teammates and managers in the dressing room because of his poor attitude. Appearances 593. Goals 207. Assists 60. Number 8. Kevin Muscat. Notable teams played for: Wolves, Rangers, Millwall. A name that strikes fear into anyone familiar with football's dirtiest players. Kevin Muscat was notorious for his brutal challenges, including a leg-breaking tackle on Adrian Zora that ended his opponent's season in the Australian top tier in 2011, which Muscat received an 8-match ban for. His reputation for violence and lack of remorse earned him widespread hatred among both Australian and English fans. Another well-known incident happened when the defender, playing for Millwall at the time, headbutted Sheffield United goalkeeper Paddy Kenny as the players entered the tunnel after the half-time whistle. Appearances 432. Goals 40. Assists 10. Number 7. Sergio Ramos. Notable teams played for: Real Madrid, PSG. Sergio Ramos was adored by Real Madrid fans because of the passion and aggression he played with, but that aggressive nature often pushed the boundaries. The Spanish defender wasn't scared of making crunching tackles or blatant fouls to stop attacks, and he loved to wind up the opposition players and fans. On the flip side, Ramos was known for diving and feigning injuries to waste time or stop the opponent's attacking momentum. The central defender has never been shy about pushing the limits, and his infamous judo throw-like tackle on Mohamed Salah in the 2018 Champions League final, which injured the Liverpool star, emphasizes that nasty side to his game. Appearances 818, goals 118. Number 6. Neymar. Notable teams played for: Barcelona, PSG. Neymar is one of football's most divisive figures due to his frequent diving and theatrical reactions. Many fans and pundits accuse him of play-acting to win fouls, which has often overshadowed his incredible skill. Whilst he is one of the most talented players in recent times, there has been a huge question mark over his work rate and desire, particularly at PSG, where he blew hot and cold during big games. Fans hated Neymar even more when he signed for Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal for approximately £75.5 million in the summer of 2023. People described the move as a money grab because the Brazilian would earn just shy of £84 million per year before leaving the club in the summer of 2025. During his tenure in the Middle East, he played a total of 7 games. Number 5. Cristiano Ronaldo. Notable teams played for: Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus. Cristiano Ronaldo, quite rightly, has had fanboys throughout his illustrious career. He is simply one of the greatest players we have ever seen grace a football pitch. Yet, at the same time, he is widely hated across the world for several reasons. His confidence, some say arrogance, and selfishness on the pitch have divided opinions. Many fans see him as egotistical, with his celebrations and attitude rubbing opponents the wrong way. When he doesn't get his own way, or when he is on the losing team, especially in big games, he spits the dummy out. Some may argue he's showing emotion, whilst others would describe him as a crybaby when he acts the way he does in defeat. In the 2024 European Championship, Roberto Martinez led the Portugal national team. And even at the age of 39, the boss still chose to play Ronaldo up front, even though he is nowhere near as influential as the other options they had in the squad. To make matters even worse, CR7 kept shooting from tight angles and demanded to take every free kick. He averaged 5 shots a game throughout the tournament, and he exited the competition in the quarter-finals with 0 goals to his name. It's selfishness like this that makes fans hate Ronaldo. Number 4. John Terry. Notable teams played for: Chelsea. Chelsea legend John Terry. The only supporters who don't seem to hate John Terry are the Chelsea supporters. Terry's off-field controversies overshadowed his incredible career and defensive ability. Most neutral supporters hated Terry due to his arrogant demeanour and brash personality. The former Chelsea and England captain faced accusations of racism against QPR player Anton Ferdinand back in 2011. This left international duty for England quite awkward with Rio Ferdinand, who is the brother of Anton. In addition to the racism controversy, Terry was rumoured to have had an affair with his former Chelsea and England teammate Wayne Bridge's partner. To make the story even worse, Terry and Bridge were close friends before this incident. Appearances: 761. Goals: 68. Assists: 28. Number 3. Joey Barton. Notable teams played for: Manchester City, Newcastle United, QPR. Joey Barton was a player who seemed to court controversy at every turn. He was involved in numerous fights, regularly dishing out violent tackles, and was involved in legal troubles. During his days at Man City, the midfielder attacked his own teammate, Ousmane Dabo, which left Dabo needing treatment in hospital after suffering a detached retina. This bust-up in 2007 marked the end of Barton's time with the club. Barton was in trouble once again in November 2010 when he punched Blackburn winger Morten Gamps Peterson during a 2-1 defeat to Newcastle. Losing his rag, Barton struck Peterson in the ribs while the referee was booking another player. Many years later, the midfielder would be involved in another heated moment with a City player. During the iconic final game of the season involving QPR and Man City, with his team facing relegation, Barton took his anger out on Carlos Tevez, elbowing him in the throat. Sergio Aguero then confronted Barton, but he was in no mood to talk, and he kneed the Argentinian to the ground, leaving the ref with no chance but to send him off. As he left the pitch, he then squared up to several more players, including manager Roberto Mancini. Number 2. Luis Suarez. Notable teams played for: Liverpool, Barcelona. Absolutely nobody on this planet can argue about Luis Suarez's footballing ability. But the Uruguayan striker is a highly controversial character and one of the most hated players ever. During his days at Liverpool, he was in the limelight almost constantly. If he wasn't ripping Premier League defences to pieces and annihilating goalkeepers, he'd be involved in heated exchanges, diving, or allegedly slinging insults. Opposition players. During his time in England, he bit Chelsea defender Branislav Ivanovic and was accused of racially abusing Manchester United defender Patrice Evra. These scandals weren't just in England. He's had a total of 3 biting incidents in his career, of which the public knows of, but with his track record, there could be more. Appearances: 809. Goals: 498. Assists: 264. 264. 1. Number 1. El Hadji Diouf. Notable teams played for: Liverpool, Blackburn Rovers, Rangers. Ranking at number 1 is former Liverpool man Diouf. Most people will agree that Diouf seemed to be a terrible person both on and off the pitch in his playing days. Even his own fans didn't like his antics. The former Senegal international was most known for spitting at opponents and fans, abusing teammates, and showing little respect for anyone. Diouf's reputation is universally known as a villain. The fact that modern-day Liverpool legends Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher have both openly called him a disgrace to football tells you all you need to know. In fact, Gerrard almost had a fight with the forward during Diouf's time with the Reds. Just when you think a player couldn't sink any lower, according to Neil Warnock, Diouf mocked former QPR player Jamie Mackie whilst he was lying on the floor with a broken leg. The iconic English manager described Diouf as being lower than a sewer rat. Current hated player: Vinicius Jr., player of Real Madrid. Vinicius Jr. didn't change that much. Since the very beginning of his career, the Real Madrid player takes on defenders, teases opponents, and plays the game with utmost joy. But none of this is enough to explain why the Brazilian is hated so much. Vinicius Jr. has been targeted countless times in racially motivated attacks in Valencia, Barcelona, Valladolid, and even in Madrid over the last few years. And this is the story of his continuing fight against racism. He always scores, like against Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. But the most important, he always give everything.